YouTube family. My name is AD Robertson. Yes, I am your success coach and clinically certified hypnotherapist. And every day when we come on here and do this live, you know we got two goals. The first goal is to create a sense of connectedness and community where we support each other, where we love on each other and all that good stuff. And the second goal that we have is that we always have a discussion that is designed to be impactful and empowering at some meaningful level in your life so that you can become the best version of you. So welcome in our YouTube family, welcome in our TikTok family. So glad to have y'all up in here. I see A-Town coming in here. I see you, Glam. Welcome in. So glad to have you up in here. We celebrate you for being in here. Did I see Jabs come in here? Come on up in here, Jabs. Good to see you. All the way from Kenya. Our Kenyan family, our West Coast people up in here. I see you. I see you. Much love, much love. Yeah, it's about 10 o'clock over there. It's like 10 o'clock over there where Jabs is. So she is enjoying her evening. What's going on, Rick Rob? We missed you on yesterday, but so glad to have you back with us. All right, we're good to go. Welcome in our our West Coast family, our East Coast folks, our Central Time people. Where anybody else from somewhere else in the world? And do we have any newbies in the building? If we got any newbies in here, if this is your first time, let us know so that we can love on you. We glad to have you up in here because guess what? Y'all could have chosen to be anywhere. Y'all could be on anybody's live, but you chose to hang out with us today. So welcome in. So glad to have you up in this piece. If y'all are ready to kick today, I'll put ready in the chat. If you are ready to kick today off, put ready in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, we got some good ground to cover today. I'm excited. Thank you, Janae. Thank you, A-Town. Thank you, Jabs. Thank you, Songbird. Thank you, Sunshine 30. Thank you, Fine Wine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Willis in the building. Thank you so much, Willis. So glad to have y'all up in here. Thank you, Tina. Good to see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. We are in day 2 of a really powerful conversation. Yesterday was, to good degree, a bit overwhelming. I got anybody find yesterday real moving? Anybody that was here on yesterday find yesterday really really moving, and you found some relevance in what we talked about. Thank you. It was there were points. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Good, good. Because there were some points yesterday where it had coach like, wait a minute, hold on. I'm gonna have to pull back because when you start talking about emotional inheritance, all of us were all of us were innocent. When you really, really think about it, we were innocent blank canvases. Think about that for a moment. Thank you, A-Town. We were these beautiful blank canvases. And when you have a beautiful blank canvas, anything can be painted on them. And when you start talking about emotional inheritance, inheriting emotional constructs, and it becoming a part of who you are and how you see yourself and how you see the world. It's a tough conversation to have, but it's one that we have to address because if we don't address it, how in the world will we ever get to a space where we are truly healed and ready to move to that next level? And so, if I can, let's go ahead. What we're going to do is we're going to do a recap. I'm going to start the recap from yesterday, and then we'll move into the remainder of our conversation on today. All right. So, our title for today is emotional inheritance. How you carry feelings that were never originally yours. Emotional inheritance is real, and many of us are carrying emotional luggage that we never packed for ourselves. We never packed it personally. It was emotional baggage that we inherited. Come on, our newbies, our new people. We have been taught to inherit eye color, cheekbones, hair texture, last names. Yet no one warned us that we were also inheriting fear, doubt, worry, shame, scarcity, and unprocessed grief. Today, we're going to explore how lovingly to identify what has been passed down unconsciously and how to consciously choose what we will continue to carry forward. There's this profound freedom in realizing that some of our heaviest emotions were never, ever a reflection of our weakness, but really echoes of somebody else's wounds. And so, energetically, just remember this, just remember for reference sake. Emotion is what? What is emotion? Emotion is energy in motion. And so that energy in motion, it has to move. It has to go somewhere. It will wind up someplace. And so when we start talking about emotional inheritance, these are the traits and things that we inherited from our tribe, from our families, from our parents, from the people in our community, our own ecosystem. So the subconscious mind, as you know, it absorbs emotional patterns long before it understands logic. Think about this for a moment. As a baby, a tiny, innocent child, you had the ability, your subconscious mind literally had the ability to absorb emotional patterns long before your ability to understand language, to understand logic, to understand personal choice. All of these things happen before. All of these things happen before you could even walk really well. You could feel the energy in the room. As a child, you could feel the tension. As children, we did not hear words. We absorbed tones. We felt the tension in the room. We felt silence. We read facial expressions, energetic climates. And we talked about energetic climates at exactly without awareness, because our awareness was still forming from birth up into age 7. We're these beautiful blank canvases that receive without asking why. We receive energy without questioning, before our logic, before our language, before our rationalizing ability came into view, came into being. We were absorbing all of this stuff. So as children, we did not hear words. We absorbed tones, tensions, silence, all of those things. The subconscious doesn't ask any questions. It doesn't ask, is this mine? It just accepts it. It asks, is this necessary for survival? As you begin to move in that space. All right. So many of our adult reactions are inherited scripts running in the background like outdated software we never consciously chose. So we're constantly running this programming. So the programming that you're running, to a great degree, you didn't even inherit. You inherited, you didn't even have a choice in it. So if you were running programs on scarcity, if you were running programs on doubt, worry, fear, these fear-based constructs, these variables in the equation had major effects on how we view the world and how we view ourselves. And so today is us going into this deep dive and understanding what that landscape looked like internally and where the source of it is, so that we can address it and turn it. All right. Many adult reactions are inherited scripts running in the background like old, outdated software. A child raised in a home where money was discussed with anxiety and stress and worry may grow up into an adult that feels uneasy around abundance without understanding why. A child who watched a parent tolerate disrespect and abuse and all of those things sometimes may unconsciously normalize that type behavior, and as a coping mechanism begin to do this thing called overgiving, overcompensating, people pleasing, just to survive. That's a part of that process. The law of correspondence. And watch this. I'm not going to slow walk it like I did yesterday, but I'm going to touch on it because this is our recap. If you want to see the full thing, we have it in the Oasis because, we broadcast both on TikTok and on YouTube simultaneously. So the full replay is right there. All right. So here we go. So the law of correspondence teaches us that as within, so without, as above, so below. That what we inherited internal turmoil eventually creates outer patterns that mirror it. So all of the chaos and all of the things that you witnessed, that you absorbed into your subconscious mind as a child and as a young adult, you begin to project those same things. Because remember, I always teach us, we live in an energetic universe. We live in an energetic universe, and because we live in an energetic universe, this universe has a language. That's right. It has a language, and that language is frequency. And so this frequency, you say, well, AD, where does this frequency come from? Where does this frequency come from? Well, the frequency in and of itself, it comes from, in part, from us. It comes from you. It comes from me. Where? It comes from the thoughts we have, the words we speak, the actions we take, and the emotions that we experience. It creates what we call the protocols of alignment. It's the protocols of alignment, and it produces this resonance. And this resonance is a frequency. And that frequency that you're resonating, that I resonate at, based on the thoughts we have, the words we speak, the actions we take, and the emotions that we experience, that resonance is projected out into the quantum field. And the quantum field then receives that frequency and then reflects it back to us as reality. So, yet again, the universal law of correspondence, it reflects this very same thought. It reflects this teaching. It says that as within, so without, as above, so below. So what we are experiencing as reality, literally, what we are experiencing as reality day in and day out is merely a reflection. It is merely a reflection of what is happening on the inside. Does that resonate with everybody? If that makes sense, put yes in the chat. So what we're saying is that where your focus goes, energy flows. Where energy flows, manifestation soon follows. So we're right there. We are right there. Excellent. Thank you. And if anybody doesn't understand, say, hey, AD, I need some help. I don't understand. So we can keep, because I don't want anybody to be left behind on this. All right. So in quantum physics, information that's stored in fields, human beings are living fields of memory, emotion, and frequency interacting consistently, consciously, constantly. Our inner world is reflected by our outer experience. We can see it, we can feel it. And so here's where the tough part is. Now, this is where the science comes in. So if you want to take some notes, take the notes right here. Generational echoes of epigenetic memory. Epigenetics is, once upon a time, we believed that our genes or that our DNA determined everything about us, right? And that it was the genes that controlled everything. But what science has discovered now is that's not necessarily the case. Yes, genes hold the code, but it is the environment in which the gene responds to. It is the environment. It is the landscape of the gene that causes the gene to express itself one way or another. That's the very simplified version of epigenetics. But you guys are smart, so you understand it. So let's go. So again, research in epigenetics shows that trauma. Now this is where it gets very, very interesting. Research shows that where trauma was experienced, that old traumas, it shows that trauma can influence genetic expression across generations. Across it. Why do you think when you go to the doctor and you have those issues, they say, well, how many people in your family wrestle with high blood pressure? How many people in your family, do you have any of your parents, your grandparents dealt with cardiovascular issues, cancers? They ask those questions because epigenetics is a real thing. And it shows where in energetically, emotionally, where the wounds of past generations literally are woven within our DNA, and as we receive the energetic impressions of our parents, our forebearers, yeah, we may have their eyes, but sometimes we have their temperament. Not only do we have their temperament, not only do we have the color of their skin, not only we have the texture of their hair, we have the scars. We wear the pain, we bear the weight of the scars that they endured. We bear the weight of the scars they endured. Does that resonate with them? Does that make sense? Does everybody understand that? Because when you start to look at yourself and you start to look at your children and because each spiritual tradition has always expressed this in some type of way. In the Christian community, they talk about it as generational curses. In Eastern traditions, in Eastern spiritual traditions, they call it karma. All of these representations are the same thing, talking about the same phenomenon where the sins of the father fall on the son. You see what I'm saying? So yes, the ancestors walk with us every day, but their essence, their trauma, their pain, their victories, their wins, it too lives within our very DNA. And so it is this environment that we have inherited, this emotional inheritance. So sometimes when you look at this desire that you have to become better, to do better, to have more, to attract more, to have this, to have that, to live out this passionate purpose that you have seen for yourself. But you wonder why there's some blocks. You wonder why you haven't experienced the shift and the growth and the manifestation of the thing that you want to experience. You wonder why you procrastinate. You wonder why you have trepidations about certain things. You wonder why you look at certain people in certain instances side-eye. You wonder why, to great degree, it is the emotional inheritance that you and I received. And it is a long-standing generational emotional inheritance. Your nervous system may be responding to threats that no longer exist because it learned vigilance from someone who truly had to survive. A grandparent who lived through poverty may have encoded scarcity thinking, and that thinking trickled down into chronic overworking, into you, where you begin to do things more and more and more. And see, the thing about it, Rob, and see, yes, that's why you got to train your brain. And see, here's the thing about it. How do you do that? Because most of us, we understand our conscious mind, but we don't understand our subconscious mind. And see, our conscious mind is where our ego lives. Our conscious mind is where the willpower lives. Our conscious mind is where the id resides, how we see ourselves, and all of that stuff, where it lives. But the true champion, the true boss of this thing is definitely in the subconscious mind. And in that subconscious space is where the programming, because 95% of what we experience as reality is systemic of the subconscious mind, not the conscious mind. Conscious mind makes up for about 5% at best. So one of the gateways, absolutely, Rick Rob, one of the gateways is meditation. And at the same token, it's about tapping into the subconscious mind so that you can reprogram it. And so we're going to get into this. We're going to get into this part. Let's keep going. So again, your nervous system may be responding to threats that no longer exist because it learned vigilance from someone who truly had to survive. In the wisdom of Ifa, the spiritual tradition of Ifa, destiny is both inherited and chosen. So we inherited the sins of our father. We inherited the emotional constructs, behavior patterns, all of those things from our tribe. But at the same time, as Ephah, as they speak in Ephah, part of our destiny is also chosen. You arrive with patterns, yet you are called to consciously shape them. You arrive with those patterns, but yet and still, you are born to consciously shape them. You have the ability, you have the power. It's been given to you. It's been given to you. Emotional inheritance is not a life sentence. It's not a life sentence. It is a starting point. Every family has emotional business model, and we talked about this yesterday in depth. Every family that we have, every family has an emotional business model that governs how love is perceived, how conflict is resolved or never addressed, how it talks about money, it talks about vulnerability, and how it's handled. Some families specialize in silence while others specialize in sarcasm. Some of us grow up in environments and spaces where being vulnerable is considered weak. That's a part of the process. We grew up in that space. Some families specialize in that. In one household, anger may have been explosive and loud. In another household, anger may have been frozen and passive. It may have been one of those things where it was expressed through withdrawal, through cutting a person out, through icing a person out. The subconscious equates familiarity with safety, even if that familiarity is dysfunction. Watch this again. I'm going to say this again. We spent a lot of time talking about this yesterday. But for those of you who are here today and you didn't hear this yesterday, I'm going to put my hat, I'm going to hang my hat on this for a second. Because it's super, super important that we do. The subconscious equates familiarity with safety. Everybody understands that. I talk about that every day. Because the subconscious mind loves the familiar, and anything that is familiar, it is deemed as safe. Anything that is unfamiliar is not deemed as safe. Anytime you start moving into a new space, a new area in your life, your subconscious mind begins to wrestle with the new thing, because the new thing in and of itself represents danger. Even if it's the greatest decision that you could have ever made, it's still considered dangerous by the subconscious mind because it isn't familiar. You're in the right place, Vera. Is it Vera or Vira? Which one is it? Spell it phonetically for me so I can say it right. But you're in the right house. You're in the right house today. It's Vera. All right, excellent. The subconscious equates familiarity with safety, even if that familiarity is dysfunction. So this is why in families we have these tones. This is why families that have dysfunction, it seems okay. It seems normal. Like to somebody else that's not a part of your tribe, because I've had the privy of watching, very, very dysfunctional situations play out. We've all seen very, very dysfunctional systems play out, whether they were our own, whether it was our family, whether it was somebody else's family. And sometimes the dysfunction can be so crazy and insane to us because that's not a part of the vernacular of our construct of how we see ourselves, the matrix of our lives. But when we look at somebody else's dysfunction, be like, whoa, I thought my job was jacked up. No, theirs is at a whole nother level. It's at a whole nother level. Like I've seen things that just were mind blowing, and I never understood how that could be possible. But in actuality, dysfunction has been normalized. Anybody understand where a family or been a part of a tribe where dysfunction was normalized? Anybody? If that's you, put me in the chat. If you've seen dysfunction be normalized. And it's part of a regular routine every day in and day out. And this is okay. It's normal. And see, here's the sad part about it. Thank you, Stefan. Here's the tough part about it. The tough part about it is when you live like this every day and you're accustomed to it. That still does not mean that your body is not responding, that your nervous system is not responding to the dysfunction. It's still responding to the dysfunction because it is wrestling with the stress. It is wrestling with the anxiety. It is wrestling with the cortisol. It is wrestling with all of those things. And because it's wrestling with all of those things, your body is paying the toll for it. So you wonder where the sickness, disease, and the cancers and all of those things come from. To a great degree, it is because you are holding in your energetic field all of that trauma, all of that pain, all of that negative energy, and it is within your DNA, it's within your cells, and it has to be released. It has to be released. Again, the subconscious equates familiarity with safety, even if familiarity is dysfunction. In the Bhagavad Gita, it speaks according to one's higher nature rather than inherited conditioning. We are invited to rise beyond and above our unconscious patterns. That's what this is today. It's an invitation for you to rise above that. So awareness of inherited patterns, it literally marks the beginning of your spiritual adulthood, if you will. This is the beginning of that part. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a good thing, Vera. Let's go. So, from a quantum mechanic perspective, in quantum mechanics, entangled particles remain connected across distance. What are entangled particles? Family is entangled particles. Your family ties, your lineage represents entanglement, quantum entanglement. Good to see you on, Nikki. Oh, we gonna get to that, Jabs. Oh, trust me, we gonna get to that. Oh, yes, sir. Jab said, how you gonna release it? How you release it? How you release it? We gonna get to it. We gonna get to it today. That's why I'm moving through our recap. I'm not spending too much time like we did on yesterday on our points. But let's talk about this quantum entanglement. So from a quantum mechanics perspective, entangled particles remain connected across distant. Emotional bonds can operate similarly. Family ties, ancestral bonds, those things represent a beautiful snapshot of quantum entanglement. You having a child, your children have a part of you. You have a part of your parents. Your parents have a part of their parents, and so on and so on and so on. There's this entanglement that the family unit represents. And so from a quantum perspective, quantum entanglement means that you share a connection across distances. And distances are not just local or geographical. I'm talking about through time and through space. Because of this quantum part, because these particles are entangled with one another, you all share the same DNA. And so woven into that DNA are the victories and the defeats, the traumas, the pains, the happy times, the not so great times. You may feel guilty for outgrowing your parents' worldview. That's a part of the entanglement. So why do you feel guilty? Because you begin to outgrow your parents' worldview, because at a subconscious level, you equate evolution with betrayal from a subconscious perspective. Because as you grow, you begin to step into a new space, a new mental, emotional, and spiritual space. And as you are embracing new spiritual traditions or going back to old spiritual traditions, and you start to question the paradigms that you were indoctrinated into. And so when you start to ask questions, it feels as if it is betrayal because it is woven within your DNA because of the quantum entanglement. Have you ever dimmed your light so that others in your lineage would not feel threatened by your growth? Hello? Has anybody on this live right here dimmed their light so that their tribe, that their elders could feel comfortable in their skin and not feel intimidated by your growth, your development? You're moving beyond the matrix that they created for themselves and indoctrinated you into. However, you broke free or you're in the process of breaking free. And as you move free and you're starting to do things, your life is looking different because remember, the external world is a reflection of what's going on the inside. So when you start to do the inner work and you start to do the shadow work and you start to heal the process, you start working here in the Oasis Mind Spa, you start dealing with that crazy guy, that's that hypnotherapist that takes you inward and begins to heal and recalibrate and reprogram that part of you, and you start showing up different. Instead of making them feel uncomfortable, you dimmed your light. You played down your brilliance just so they could be comfortable. Baby, not no more. Not in here. Come on. Have you ever dimmed your light so others could be comfortable? The devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm back. I'm back. Woo! I'm back. I promise you. Not anymore. Here we go. Come on, y'all. The law of vibration teaches that. And in fact, and where I am right now, I'm sorry, I got into the space. This is where we left off on yesterday. And so let me back up just a second. If y'all are ready for part 4, put 4 in the chat. If y'all are ready for part 4, put 4 in the chat. Let's go. My pastor questions my growth with you. Oh, that's good. My pastor questions my growth with you. I have expressed myself using the vernacular he can identify. And listen, bring him to me, baby. Bring me your pastor. Come on over here, talk to me. Sit on down there, bro. Is he ready? Come on up in here. Come on up in here, pastor. You don't want this smoke? No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm dead serious. It's our Friday, y'all. So guess what? I can cut up. He's not ready. Okay, you already know he's not ready. But listen, just bring him on. Listen, in fact, you can bring him on live. You can invite him to come right in here with us. He can ask whatever question he wants. I remember one of my good friends that's in the ministry. His wife is the first lady. And so she asked me, she said, well, I see you doing the hypnosis. So what's the spirit behind it? I chuckled. I said, whatever spirit you bring up in here. Oh, God. I'm sorry, y'all. It's all good. Oh, y'all gonna get me in trouble. Not really. I don't care. I'm sorry. I'm just cutting up today. But yeah, Songbird, bring him on up in here. Bring him on up in here. We're very respectful. The law of vibration. The law of vibration. The law of vibration. The law of vibration teaches that emotions are frequencies because it's energy. It's energy in motion. It's a frequency because you can measure energy in waves. Okay, let's go. So the universal law of vibration teaches that emotions are frequency. Inherited emotions are frequencies you learn to tune into and to project. These emotional, so the construct of emotional, the emotional matrix of your family indoctrinated you into that space, right? So you inherited that vibrational frequency. What did we start off with earlier? We live in an energetic universe, and an energetic universe has a language. What I say the language is? Frequency. And so the frequency that you and I are broadcasting based upon the thoughts we have, the words we speak, the actions we take, and the emotions that we experience, that frequency is then projected out into the quantum field. The quantum field receives that vibrational frequency and reflects it back to us as reality. So not only are we tuned into that frequency, we broadcast that frequency. Here we go. If you were raised around constant worry, your baseline may only feel normal when something is wrong. I know it sounds crazy. Doesn't this sound crazy? But it's not about logic. And see, that's the thing that the subconscious mind does not operate on. It does not operate from logic. It does not operate from reason. It accepts that which is familiar over and over again. It accepts that which is familiar. It accepts what it sees. And from birth up until age 7, you absorbed all of this in, and it created the baseline for how you see life. It creates the baseline, how you see life, how you show up for yourself, how much you love yourself, how much you celebrate yourself, or how much you deny yourself. The subconscious mind is not logic. It operates off of repetition. There you go. It only learns by repetition and imagery and emotion and these intangible qualities that the conscious mind doesn't understand. That's why when we do a hypnosis session, a lot of times when people experience hypnotherapy for the very first time, and it's this wonderful experience, the conscious mind is trying to understand what just happened. Because the language of the conscious mind and the language of the subconscious mind are two separate ones. The language of the conscious mind is logic, rationale, reason, all of those things. It's linear. Whereas the language of the subconscious mind is abstract. It's not logical. It's emotional. It's imagery. It's feeling. It's broader. It's expansive. Whereas the conscious mind, it is constrictive, confining, delineated. It falls within a solid construct that everything that comes into its space has to be defined and delineated for it to be understood. So it has to be processed. So when we start talking about this emotional inheritance, it's this moving target from a conscious standpoint. Because the language that needs to be spoken in order to address the maladies of the subconscious mind cannot be addressed through the conscious one. Does that make sense, everybody? I know that may sound complex, but does it make sense? Hopefully I laid it out in very, very plain vernacular. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? If it makes sense, put yes in the chat. Excellent. Thank you, Amy. Thank you. Thank you, Vera. Thank you, Janae. Thank you, Sunshine 30. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Monica. Okay, good. No, this is perfect. If you were raised around constant worry, your baseline may only feel normal when something is wrong. When you go for so long and you're in a scarcity mindset, and you start to make some shifts and changes, and you start to see growth and development in your life. You messed around and you quantum leap and you changed timelines. So you grew up in an environment where there was always stress, strife, especially maybe around money all of the time. And because it was constantly around money, you stressed and worried. But now you started to move in a different direction. Hey, Henson, good to see you on. Welcome in, superstar. And as you begin to move into the new direction, watch this now. As you begin to move into the new direction and you start to make money, I mean like big money, the moment you start to make that shift, in the pit of your stomach, you start to get nervous. You start to worry because, like, well, this is different. Anybody know what I'm talking about here? Anybody know? If you know what I'm talking about, if you've ever been in a new season where things were going great, moving well, and then all of a sudden you started to get anxious, you started to get nervous, you started to worry. If that's you, if that's you, put me in the chat. If that's you, put me in the chat. If you've experienced it, you're experiencing it now. Thank you, Fine Wine. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Jabs. Thank you, Vera. Thank you, Janet. Thank you. Thank you, Willis. Thank you, Janae. No, but now you see how why it is. It's so natural for you as you begin to do the great thing, and as you begin to do better and to be better and to experience something new and fresh and beautiful and actually in alignment with your passionate desires. It's natural to feel, whoa. It's natural to feel a little anxious because of it. But now, because you understand where it comes from, it does not have to become a limiting belief that causes you to be fearful, that causes you to self-sabotage. Because see, that's what happens when you start to feel that angst, then you start to doubt and worry. Doubt and worry create procrastination. You start to self-sabotage. So when those fears show up now that we've had this conversation, you now can recognize it. You can recognize it. You can see it for what it is. And you can say, you know what? It's all right. That's just me going through my little growing pains. That's me just becoming a little bit better. You see how we just kind of nullify that? It's okay. It's okay. And this is what I want you to tell yourself as you begin to feel a little anxious about your becoming. About you becoming better, about you becoming the better version of yourself, about you attracting everything that you have seen for yourself, all of the happiness, the joy, the wealth, the healing, the prosperity, all of that stuff. It's going to become normal for you. So you just continue to do the things that you've been doing and don't step back. And as you have your moment, as you will, just say, oh, look at that. Look at my little self. That's so sweet and so cute. Look at me wrestling with that. It'll be all right. You see what I'm saying? You see how we have to, the language that we have, that we use with ourselves, how we speak ourselves. It's natural. That's exactly right. You want to create a new default, Janae. You want to create a new default. And you should be excited. You should be excited, Vera. If chaos was familiar, peace may initially feel suspicious. Christianity teaches that we are made new. Identity is not permanently fixed by ancestry. Be ye renewed. Be ye, what is it? Transformed. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. What are we doing today? Renewing the mind. Step by step, moment by moment, breath by breath, we are renewing the mind. We're becoming better and better every day. Conversation by conversation, live by live, just like this, we're becoming better and better. With every breath you take, you become more and more aligned with the perfect version of yourself. You see how I'm doing that? That's a part of that program language. I am happy, I am healthy, I am healed, I am whole. And then if you have trouble with those affirmations, use ask-formations. I wonder why I feel so wonderful today. Because the subconscious mind is going to go and look for the answer. I wonder why money flows to me so easily and effortlessly. I wonder why my bank account looks so delicious right now. Ooh. You see that? You see how we do that? You see how we do that? This is how you do what we call neuro-linguistic programming. How you begin to change the way you process information, how you begin to speak to yourself. It's happening right now. There you go. Hey, Divine Frequency, good to see you up in here. Good to see you up in here. This is true alchemy. This is masterclass action. This is masterclass action. Observation collapses the waveform. So from a quantum perspective, you remember that observation. We talk about what happens with observation. When you look at the thing, where your focus goes, energy flows. Where energy flows, manifestation soon fall. Soon manifest. Observation collapses the waveform. When you focus on the thing, when you become conscious of a pattern, you begin to change it. When you become conscious, watch and see. You see how slick I am about this. Watch this now. Observation collapses the waveform. When you become conscious of the pattern, you begin to change it. So what is happening with these conversations that we're having every single day, you're becoming consciously aware of the patterns of your life. You're becoming consciously aware of the seat of some of the stuff that you've wrestled with for so long. Sound about right? Sound about right? But the more you focus on the thing with an understanding, a different understanding, and not a victimized understanding, you're no longer a victim. You become consciously aware. And as you become consciously aware, not unconsciously aware, there's a difference. The consciously aware says that there is intent behind the conscious words, the conscious actions. And so because there's a deliberate intent, when you pair a deliberate intent with an elevated emotion, magic begins to happen. I'm already ahead of myself. I'm already to the healing part. I ain't supposed to be there yet. Let me back up. Observation collapses the waveform into reality. So where our focus goes, energy flows. Where energy flows, manifestation soon follows. If y'all are ready for part 5, put 5 in the chat. Let's go. We are doing really, really well. We're at the top of the hour. Congratulations. Listen, we're already at 50,000 likes. Excellent. Thank y'all so much. We're at 51,000 likes. As we're in here, make sure that y'all are loving on each other right here on TikTok and right here, our YouTube family, as you guys continue to grow, as we grow. Thank y'all so very much. I'm glad to see this. I'm glad to see the direction that everybody is moving in. I'm getting so many testimonials and so many stories of transformations that are happening with the people in our organization, in this group of people. Like, I'm so happy to see the shifts and the changes, because you're just not affecting the change in your life. You're affecting change for generations to come. You're affecting change in the people that are around you. They're seeing the difference. They're seeing they're going to be the indirect beneficiaries of the work that you're doing here right now. And so if this is your vibe, this might be your tribe. So listen, I want to invite you to continue to come back every day, Monday through Thursday from 12 to 2. I invite you to come back Monday through Thursday, every day from 12 to 2. And we're going to continue to have these type conversations that are empowering and impactful. That's it. And then the next thing I want you to do is I want to invite you to become a part of the Oasis. The Oasis is our channel on Discord. Yes, we have a channel. We have a channel on Discord, and it's so cool. And so inside of our channel on Discord called the Oasis, we have our Monday morning meditations. You come in there live. Thank you, Amy, for that paper crane. I truly appreciate it. And so people come in and we do our meditation together. It's about 20 minutes. And it's powerful. It's a great way to start the week off. So I invite you to become a part of that. Inside of the Oasis, we have pre-recorded meditations. We have pre-recorded hypnosis sessions. We have a copy of my very first book, Our Spirits Renewed. We have the Woman Safe Space that's curated and moderated by Janae. And Janae is one of our moderators right here on YouTube and here on TikTok. And so it's a great time, a great space to be in, because that Women's Safe Space touches on a whole lot of topics that you definitely want to be a part of. So I'm excited about that. So that is the Oasis. There's so much going on in there. And I'm in there. The family is in there. So you want to be in there with everybody. So I invite you to become a part of it. How do you become a part of it? All you have to do is click on this picture, this good looking guy here on TikTok. And as you click on that picture, you see where you can become a super fan. And as you become a super fan, TikTok is going to send you an invitation to become a part of the Oasis automatically. But if you say, "Hey, I'm having some technical difficulties, and you need some help," because sometimes it may be confusing. You either having some technical difficulties or some financial difficulties, and you say, "Hey, I want to get in the Oasis." Somebody can help you. Whether I help you, reach out to Fine Wine, Mimi, or Janae, and they can help you gain access to the Oasis. Now, that's the second level of engagement. The highest level of engagement is being a part of the Oasis Mind Spa. That's right. There's Fine Wine. She's waving right there. So if you need to reach out to her, you can reach out to her. The highest level of engagement is the virtual is the Oasis Mind Spa. And what does that mean? That means you either work with me one-on-one, or you have been a part of one of our virtual hypnosis experiences. And it is a very, very powerful experience. So is there anybody in here that is really, really and truly ready to take their life to the next level? If you're ready to take your life to the next level, and we're going to continue with our conversation in just a second. If you're ready to, I'm going to put this up here. And if you're very, very serious with taking your life to the next level and you want to work with me, this is only if you're dead serious. This is not an emotional decision. This is an intentional decision. This is an intentional, listen to me closely now. This is not an emotional decision. This is an intentional decision where you are intentionally looking to become better and to do better. I'm about to put a form up here. And when you do that form, just go ahead and fill that out, and you can just fill that out, follow the process, and we'll get you started on your process right here with me, working together one-on-one. So watch this. Here it is. I'm going to go ahead and pin this notice right there. Bam. It's going to be up here. You can see it for about 30 seconds. But it'll still be up here. And as Fine Wine said, you won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed. So go ahead and complete that form, and again, that gives you access to me one-on-one. If you're not serious, don't do it. Please don't do it. Because there's so many people that are really looking to become better and to do better. And so you definitely want to be a part of it. Hey, Ansley, good to see you on here. So definitely go ahead and do that. Then the other thing, get your calendars out. I am hosting this month's virtual hypnosis experience. It is going to be February the 25th. That's February the 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to say that again. It's a Wednesday, February the 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it is going to be absolutely powerful. This month's theme for the virtual hypnosis experience is limitless. It is living a life divorced of what? Divorced of fear, doubt, and scarcity. Because you deserve to be limitless. There are no limits. There are no limits on how amazing your life can be. There's no limits on how awesome you can create your reality. There are no limits. The only limits that you experience are the limits that you put on yourself, or the limits that you allow to remain within you, because as we're talking today about emotional inheritance, this emotional inheritance is a real thing. So I invite you to become a part of that virtual hypnosis experience. And to do that, go ahead, you can tap on that same form and say, "Hey, AD, I want to be a part of that virtual hypnosis experience." And so we go from there. There we go. When you tell me what you mean when you say there's no such thing as self-sabotage, you're gonna have to explain that to me, because I've seen it many, many times, over and over and over again, with a lot of people. Because that self-sabotage is a natural, actually a defense mechanism. It is a coping mechanism. It is a response to some fear-based understandings. It's some limiting beliefs. So yeah, you're gonna have to explain that to me a little bit. But this is a great time. So put that in your calendar. I invite you to become a part of it. It's going to be absolutely amazing. It is going to be life-changing, transformational, all of that good stuff. So I'm excited. The next thing, if any part of what we have been talking about at any meaningful level, if you find any kind of relevance, let me put this out there for you. Much of it arrives out of the book that I authored this book, Cracking the Abundance Code. So if you're really ready to move beyond those limiting beliefs, grab your copy of Cracking the Abundance Code. In the very first, in the first chapter in the book, what do I discuss? Limiting beliefs. I spent a lot of time talking about limiting beliefs. In the second chapter, I talk about how you quantum leap into your wealthy identity. Also, inside of here, there is inside of Cracking the Abundance Code, there's this 21-day roadmap. And I love this 21-day roadmap because it's like having me with you every single day for 21 days. And how you tap in to that best version of yourself. And those limiting beliefs that will keep you from procrastinating, keep you from doubting yourself, keep you from sabotaging the greatest season that you could possibly have. And so if you haven't grabbed your copy of Cracking the Abundance Code, go ahead and grab your copy of Cracking the Abundance Code right now. And when you do so, I'm going to sign it. I'm going to put your name in it. I'm going to personalize it. And I'm also going to put a little gift in there, and I'm going to ship this out to you immediately. So grab your copy. It's right here. Do y'all see this little thing right down here where it says, do y'all see that little banner? Can you see it? Where it says Cracking the Abundance Code, where you can get it from right here in the TikTok shop. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? All right, excellent. All right, so great. So grab your copy of that, and I will get that out to you today. Let's keep going. Where my meditation people at? Real quick. Where my meditation people at? Where you at? Show me where you are. Because if that's you, put me in the chat. Because as I tell y'all all the time, meditation saved my life. It did. It saved my life. I see you, Amy. I see you, fine wine. And so, because of the meditation practices that I do and that I'm a big advocate for, I'm also big on energy. Y'all hear me talking about that. I'm big on energy. I'm big on the energetic space around you and understanding that you have an electromagnetic field. Notice I'm hanging my words on that electromagnetic field. And one of the things that Rick Robb was saying is that meditation is key. Meditation is key when it comes to changing that inner landscape, because we understand that what we experience outside of us is reflective of what's happening inside. So I created a set of candles, this Triple Bliss meditation candle set, for meditation and for manifestation. And so each one, I'm going to explain these candles real quick, and then we're going to get back to our talk. The very first one in the Triple Bliss set is the Abundance Candle. The Abundance Candle is absolutely powerful. It smells amazing. All of the candles are 100% natural soy-based candles. They also have a cotton wick, and they are all infused with an essential oil or a set of essential oils that it's in alignment with the intention. So the intention of this bliss candle is abundance. So it has lemongrass and bergamot, and it also has lodestone oil in it. And it smells absolutely amazing. Oh, yes, divine. It smells absolutely amazing. So you definitely want to get this, because this is designed to attract abundance into your space. So when you do your research and you understand what lemon verbena, not lemon verbena, but lemongrass and bergamot and lodestone. If you don't know what a lodestone is a magnet. And so it helps you to attract abundance into your space. So I light this candle just about every day, especially when we do our meditation. The next one in the Triple Bliss set is the Heal Candle. It really is. It's the Heal Candle. Oh, it smells delicious. Yes, I'm a dude, but I love the rose. And when you understand, you can get it. Just go ahead and just click this right here, divine. And so when you grabbed your Triple Bliss set, the second candle in the Triple Bliss set is the Heal Candle, and it is infused with rose essential oils. The hurts on this is off the charts. So when you start talking about healing from an energetic perspective, healing the body, the mind, the spirit, this candle is absolutely amazing, because essential rose oil, it vibrates at a very high frequency. All right. So, and then last but not least, bringing up the rear is the Happy Candle. You cannot attract wealth and abundance and you miserable. It just doesn't work. So when you grab your Triple Bliss set, the last one in the series is the Happy Candle, and it's really one of my favorite scents in the world. It is lemon verbena. So when you go to the 5-star resorts and you go to the day spas and all that, you know that scent, that smell that they all have, that's in the soaps and the lotions and all, that's this. And it smells so freaking amazing. and it helps to boost your mood and how you feel. So when you order your Triple Bliss set, we'll go ahead and we'll send that out. So grab your copy of Cracking the Abundance Code and grab your Triple Bliss meditation candle set, and you're good to go. And so we're gonna go ahead and unpin these bad boys. So I celebrate you as you grab your sets and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna remove this from the live, and we're gonna keep going. Can we keep going? If y'all are ready to keep going, put ready in the chat. Put ready in the chat. That's right. Put ready in the chat. Here we go. Here we go. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I use when I do hypnosis, I use the word bliss quite a lot, because that's where we want to be. We want to be in a state of bliss. That's right. That's where we want to be. All right. Excellent. You were born ready, Rick Rob. Let's go. Let's go, y'all. We are in part 5. The comedy of carrying what is not yours. It's kind of crazy to carry what's not yours, especially once you realize it wasn't yours in the first place. So sometimes we are emotionally defending situations that ended before we were even born. Defending it, justifying it, claiming it as it's our own. But in actuality, these things happened way before you even touched this planet. You just inherited the genetic makeup of the thing. And so that's where, where we start talking about the uncomfortable comfort zone and defending the uncomfortable comfort zone, because that's what it is. It's a comfort zone. It may be uncomfortable, it may be dysfunctional, it may be laden with stress, worry, and all of that kind of stuff, but it's what you're accustomed to. And because it's what you're accustomed to, that means it feels safe. It feels safe to you. But we're going to break out of that, right? We're going to break out of that. We're going to break out of that. That's what we're doing. You may be arguing passionately about loyalty while carrying unresolved betrayal of a relative you never met. Because of quantum entanglement. We already broke that down from a scientific perspective. Because of quantum entanglement, you and your family are tied. You're tied through genetics. You all share the same genetic markers. And because you share those same genetic markers, you also inherited the environment of the genetic markers too. So it helps. Ooh, I can see how by design it is to maintain the integrity of, my goodness. I don't know if y'all see the light that just went off in my own darn head. By design, ooh, that's ugly, but beautiful at the same time. Follow me here. Let me back you up. Let me show you where my head is. So here it is. We have, from an epigenetic standpoint, we have the gene, right? We have the DNA. We understand that the gene only expresses itself based upon the environment that the gene is exposed to, right? So what way to maintain a high level of integrity and when I say integrity, I mean wholeness. Because integrity is not just about, like personality and all that stuff. It's an integral. Look at the root word, integral. Integer means whole number. So the wholeness of your being or your family, your familial bonds, it keeps its integrity, because we understand from a scientific perspective that the gene is going to pass down, right? But the family wants to maintain and has the desire to maintain the integrity of how the gene expresses itself. So if you want to maintain a certain genetic marker, it has to have the same environment as it moves from generation to generation. Because if the environment shifts and changes, then so changes the doggone gene. Do y'all get that for a second? Did that mess anybody up for a second? Do y'all see where my head just kind of blew up real quick? It blew up because if you want to maintain the integrity of a trait in your family, it is imperative that you control the environment. Wow. And while yesterday when I was saying that how diabolical it was for powers that be to maintain these states, this energetic construct where you and I are birthed into. This matrix keeps us locked in step with the same maladies, the same sickness, the same disease, the same mental state, the same scarcity mindset, the same wanting, needing, begging, pleading, the same victimization. We embrace all of these things from an energetic standpoint. And what does that do? That from a epigenetic standpoint, it locks in a group of people into a particular matrix and a way of life. Does that resonate with anybody? If that resonates with you, put me in the chat. Does that resonate? Does that resonate? Wow. That's wild. That's wild. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Here we go. If your emotions could speak honestly, what would they say? I belong to you. Or I was handed to you. Hey, Dorothy, good to see you. You felt all the conditioning as you see what I'm saying, Annie? It's conditioning. It's conditioning. It's conditioning. But it's integral at the same time. And not in a from a scientific standpoint, it's integral. Wow. That's why you're treated badly for being different, even if thank you, Fine Wine. Fine Wine says that's why you're treated differently, or that why you're treated badly for being different, even if it's healthy. Because there's so many reasons, because of the natural proclivity that people have to experience the same thing over and over and over again. That's why they call it generational curses. That's why they call it karma or karmic debt. These are the same things in different spiritual traditions. The sins of the father fall on the son. Integral, what I mean by integral from a scientific perspective, meaning not from a character standpoint, but integral. When you break down the word integrity meaning the root word being integral or integer. And so we know from a mathematic perspective, integer means whole number. So when we take when we look from when we do a thing of etymology, and we look at the word and where it stems from, you bring that wholeness, because integer is a whole number. A part of who you are is whole when you operate from a place of integrity. So it's whole. So the integrity of the gene, the integrity of the genetic makeup, the integrity of how the gene expresses itself, or how you express yourself from an energetic standpoint, in order to maintain its integrity, its wholeness, you have to control the environment for which the gene is in. And so how you control the environment of the gene is through emotion. That's what I meant by that. Healthy is not normal. Healthy is not normal in so many households. Absolutely. You have to see something wrong or a problem. You have to see it. No, you're absolutely right, Dorothy. Dysfunction is normal in a lot of situations. In a lot of situations, dysfunctional is normal, but it's by design. So there it is. All right. So to feel less or more, break that down from Harvard. There we go. All right, here we go. Let's keep going. There is humor in realizing that you have been protecting emotional heirlooms that were never meant to be permanent fixtures in your life. Emotion is feeling. No. Yes, emotion is feeling. Emotion is your nervous system's feedback. It is saying, oh, this is what, hey, AD, hey, Harvey, this is what we're wrestling with. This is what we're dealing with right now. And so it's kind of like a little clarion call to say, hey, so on the one hand, emotion is say, hey, this is where we are. Two, emotion is also a tool because emotion is energy in motion. And so you can either be used or be caught up in that, or you can not be. And you use it as a tool to project. You can use your emotions like women have a superpower. Women have, you guys, listen, women, you all have a superpower. And that superpower in and of itself is your ability to grab a hold of your emotions and to point those emotions in a particular direction. Because where focus goes, energy flows. Where energy flows, manifestation soon follows. And I say women have a superpower in their emotional stance because they can use that energy so beautifully to manifest and to create and to change their environment. All right, let's keep going. So we have to laugh at ourselves at this. So laughter breaks rigidity. Rigidity sustains inherited pain. Listen to what I say. When you make fun of those aspects of yourself, when you poke fun and I'm always going to talk about laughing and making light of these situations because sometimes they can be so heavy. And that rigidity, when you look at it from a very rigid standpoint, you wind up amplifying that which you are resisting about yourself. But if you look at it and you laugh about it, it literally breaks that inherited pain, so to speak. When you can gently laugh at the absurdity of inherited drama, liberation begins to happen in your life. As we sit here and poke fun at ourselves for holding on to things for far too long, for holding on to grudges, holding on to old energetic patterns that aren't serving us, we just kind of let that thing go. If y'all are ready for part 6, we're moving along, y'all. If y'all are ready for part 6, put 6 in the chat. Let's go. Oh man, we're doing really, really great. We're already at 79,000 likes. We're already at 79,000 likes. And so we're going to blow our goal of 100,000 likes on just out of the water. We're going to do that. Thank you, Rick Rob. Thank you. So yeah, you understand, Janae. Your light came on too. Thank you, Janae. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Vera. Thank you, Amy. Said, could I please speak again on the ability you said women have? Please, you missed that. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'd love to say that. Women have a unique ability. There's so many things that women have that I'm just deliciously jealous of. No, women, you all are the gateway. You're the portal for which life comes through. That's number one. And in order for life to come through to this planet, it has to go through the feminine aspect of it. And so as you go through this part of understanding how you manifest and what you want to manifest. So when you understand that where your focus goes, energy flows. Where energy flows, manifestation soon follows. So you see, a part of that equation is where your focus goes, energy flows. Well, if energy is flowing, that means there's manifestation that's coming. Well, we know that energy is energy in motion. Here it is right here. What we gonna call you, Essie? What we call you, Essie? So for women have this superpower in that you have this ability to manipulate your emotions so beautifully. And you can be so passionate about life and things. If you could ever take that emotion and focus it like a laser, your ability to manifest is a superpower. It's a superpower, I'm telling you right now. Why isn't Africa the most powerful continent in the world when we have everything? That's an interesting conversation. I can understand that. I mean, yeah, I get it. But that's not our conversation today. But we might come to that one day too. We might come to that one day. So here we go. We on part 6. Reclaiming emotional sovereignty. What is sovereignty? Oh, listen, we got some more folks listen. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, we got some more people on the continent. Thank you, Essie. I'm so glad to have you up in here, and hopefully you'll continue to come back. We got any newbies up in here? Where my newbies at? I forgot to ask that question. Oh God. Where y'all at? Where we got any newbies up in here? Dorothy is a newbie. Where we just put newbie in the chat real quick. Vera is a newbie. We got some newbies up in here, y'all. We so glad to have. Listen, y'all love on our newbies. If anybody other newbie, Dorothy's a newbie. Vera's a newbie. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Y'all love on them for me. We so glad to have it. Her Divine Frequency is a newbie. So glad to have you up in here. Oh, I love having newbies up in here. We got to love on the newbies, y'all. Y'all love on the newbies. Welcome them up in here. Thank you so much. Y'all are absolutely amazing. And again, if this is your vibe, this might be your tribe. So keep coming back. All right, here we are. Part 6. Reclaiming emotional sovereignty. Sovereignty. You are sovereign. I'm glad you feel the love, Dorothy. That's the goal. That is, when I tell you that's the goal, we love on each other. And that, right, that's what we do. That's what we do up in here. So keep coming back. Emotional sovereignty begins when you pause long enough to ask whether your reaction aligns with your present reality. The subconscious can be retrained through repetition, imagery, reframing, and conscious emotional rehearsal. I'm going to say that again. Emotional sovereignty begins when you pause long enough to ask whether your reaction aligns with your present reality. A person who inherited fear of failure. This is a big one. This is a big one, ladies and gentlemen. This is a big one. This is a big one, family. This is a big one. A person who inherited fear of failure can intentionally practice small risks and celebrate outcomes to build a new neural narrative. Watch this now, because we're talking now. We made the turn. We've made the turn. So now we're talking about how we fix this stuff. We're talking about how we heal from it. Come on now. So we've talked about the problem. We've illuminated it. We've ruminated on it. We've spent some time. We've exegeted it. We've done all kinds of stuff to talk about it. So now let's move into the space. Let's move into the space where we begin to reclaim our emotional sovereignty. Because yes, we are the beneficiaries of our ancestors, of our tribe's emotional scars, and their wins and victories too. So this just doesn't work on the this is the woe is me stage. It also works on passing on victory, passing on wins, passing on educational characteristics and traits, passing on the positive and good stuff. So it's just not bad. It can be anything. And so we have this emotional inheritance. So now in light of our emotional inheritance, we are now reclaiming our emotional sovereignty. Emotional sovereignty means that you are the one that is in control of your own emotional states. Everybody ready? Everybody with that? Everybody ready? If you're rocking with that, say me. Put me in the chat. If you're rocking with that, put me in the chat. If you're ready to become emotionally sovereign and no longer acquiesce to the emotional states of your inherited emotional construct, here it is. So remember, emotional sovereignty begins when you pause long enough to ask whether your emotional reaction right now in this moment, is it yours? Is it one that you inherited? Is it one that is relative and relevant to your current situation? Thank you, everybody. Here we go. We good. We good. We good. The subconscious mind can retrain. We can retrain it through repetition, imagery reframing, and conscious emotional rehearsal. Part of what we do when we use hypnosis or hypnotherapy to address those things from a subconscious perspective, this is exactly what we do. Everything here, the repetition, the imagery, the reframing, and the conscious mental rehearsal, all of that is a part of the hypnotic experience when it comes to how I help people to move beyond their limiting beliefs and how how that emotional stuff, because sometimes we have to eliminate, and this goes back to you, Jabs, right here. Sometimes you have to release energetically that which you've been holding. And so through practices like Reiki, through practices like neurolinguistic programming, practices like tapping, practices like hypnotherapy, deep diving into the subconscious mind to reprogram and to recalibrate it. Someone who inherited emotional suppression can practice safe vulnerability in controlled environments. So these are conscious things that you can do to begin to step outside of that. Somatic exercises, that is a good one. Thank you. Thank you. Somatic exercises is a good one. So again, a person who inherited fear of failure can intentionally watch this now. Let's just say you inherited that fear of failure. You don't want to fail. That's one of the things that I wrestled with for a long time because I had seen people, I had seen mentors, people that I had admired. And this is a tough one for me. I had seen people who had great skills, great opportunity, great great potential, all of the right relationships, had all of the things that they needed. And I watched them live a life where at the end of their life, hey Sabali, good to see you on in here. Y'all listen, just take a quick pause. Send Sabali some good energy. She's still on her healing journey from that procedure that she had a few weeks ago that we were sending some good healing energy towards. So Sabali, listen, thank you for that daily heart me. Listen, y'all send that good healing energy out to Sabali because we appreciate her. She's been with us for months now. And so we're going to keep her with us. And so we're going to continue to support you energetically, emotionally. We're going to send love to you, that healing energy, so that you can that your body continues to heal and that you become strong and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's where we are. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for that, for doing that, Sabali. Thank you for being here. We're glad that you poked your head in because I know you're tired of all of those doctors and nurses and therapists and people and things. So listen, thank y'all so much for loving on her. I truly appreciate y'all. And listen, Sabali, you getting love from all around the world. We got people from the continent. We got people from South Africa. We got people from Kenya. We got people throughout the United States. We got people from, where else we got folks from here in the world? Come on here. I know we got some more people in here. Where y'all from? Yes, thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for loving on Sabali. She is a wonderful spirit. So again, this is about recalibrating where it is. We're retraining that subconscious mind so that we reframe that personhood of who we see ourselves as. All right, there we go. Remember, the universe does not give us what we ask for. The universe gives to us based upon how we see ourselves. So a part of our emotional landscape determines how we see ourselves, right? How a part of our internal dialogue, our inner landscape, it determines how we see ourselves. And because we see ourselves in such in a particular light, that's how the universe responds to us. So again, the universe does not give us what we ask for, it gives to us based upon how we see ourselves. So this is where the power in the shift happens. When you're reclaiming your emotional sovereignty. What happened to my mentor? Thank you. Yeah, because I got lost. I got lost. Thank you so much for that fine wine. What happened to my mentors was that I saw the greatest potential in them, or they saw the greatest potential, but unfortunately, I watched too that they never ever got to a space where they lived out the fullness of the vision that they had for themselves. I watched mentors that had amassed a great amount of wealth but could not maintain it. They lost it. That they were the victims of circumstance, they were the victims of life. And so what that did for me, because I was in my 20s, I was a very young man on this path right here. And so when I saw their failure and I saw the pain and suffering that they went through towards the end of their life. One riddled with cancer, the other one miserable, miserable and despondent. But both had such great dreams, such beautiful aspirations, such great passion for life in themselves. And so, what that did for me as a young man is that created a fear of failure. That's where that's where Coach was. And every now and again, I have to quiet that fear because it will poke its head up. And so, listen, and here's the thing that y'all got to realize. Yes, I am a success coach. Yes, I am, I am who I am. But at the same time, I have the same life experiences that you have. I do. I have many of the same struggles that you have. It's just that I've learned a few tricks along this journey to get beyond them just a little bit. And it's back up, Janae. I'm sorry. It's just what it does. Yeah, no, yeah, you can no. It's you can go back. It's up. It's up, Janae. I'm sorry, our YouTube family. This I've tried to fix whatever that is, but it just does it. But let's keep going. When you consciously assume peace instead of inherited chaos, the subconscious reorganizes itself around the assumption. Mastery is not about controlling others. It is about mastering your own inner state of being. All right, here we go. If y'all are ready for part 7, put 7 in the chat. Let's go, let's go. If you're ready for part 7, put 7 in the chat. If you're ready for part 7, put 7 in the chat. Here we go. Now, this is big. I hope y'all are ready for it. I hope y'all are ready for this big one. Because each and every one of us, this is going to happen to us. At some point in time, each and every one of us will become an emotional ancestor. In the natural order of things, we are going to become ancestors at some point. At some point, we're becoming the elders. Y'all see this gray stuff on my face? Yes, I got the baby. I still got the dimples and the baby face, but this stuff, this stuff here, it says something different. It's going to say something different at some point in time. Yes, that's it, Vera. In the natural order of things. We're seasoned. That's it, Monique. We're seasoned. Yes. I like that. We seasoned. We're a little seasoned. We'll take that. Yes, and we are, and yeah, we're gonna celebrate the fact that we hit that 100K. Thank you. So listen. So at some point in time, we are going to become we grow into elders, and then at some point, Amy says, "I'm real seasoned." Oh, listen, Amy say, "I'm soul food, baby." Amy say, I'm real. Amy say, "I'm real seasoned," and we gonna take that. You know about that gray stuff, Willis? Willis say he knows about that gray stuff, So, oh God, we're not gonna have that conversation. I'm about to go down. We're not doing that. You are not only a descendant. You are not only a descendant. You're not only just the beneficiary. You're not. You are an ancestor in the making. I mean, that's actually kind of cool when you think about it. You are an ancestor. You and I are an ancestor in in the making. What you say, Songbird? Songbird said, "With heat still in the furnace." Oh, I swear I love this people. I love y'all. Janae say that gray. What you say? Listen, messed around and Willis said he knows something about that gray stuff, and then Janae said the gray is sexy. Oh God, I'm not with you. But you know what? This is our Friday, so y'all can cut up. Go ahead, go on and cut up. Do whatever you want to do. Gray don't play. All right, I'm with it. I'm with it all. But here we go. You are not only a descendant, you are an ancestor in the making. That's it. You are an ancestor in the making. The way you process your emotions today. Watch this. Listen, Fine Wine is having fun over here, Janae. She talking about all shucks, Janae. Come on, y'all. Here we go. Here we go. The way you process your emotions today. Mindful. Be mindful. Be mindful. The way you process your emotions today shapes the emotional climate of generations to come who may never know your name. They gonna know mine though. They gonna know mine. I'm not slipping off into obscurity, and neither are you. If you're on this live, you're not slipping off into obscurity in no way, in no sense of the imagination. Are you slipping off into obscurity? You are an ancestor in the making. So again, the way you process your emotions today shapes the emotional climate of generations who may never know your name. When you choose therapy over silence, yeah, they're gonna know your name too because you're an author, Janae. There you go. They're gonna know how by the path, not only the path that you blazed, but the people that you impacted, the lives that you changed. You're talking about generational curse breaking, releasing old karmic debt. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm getting huge goosebumps. Like, I don't know if y'all can see that right there. That is crazy. Wow. All right. Y'all have I hadn't gotten that in a minute. All right, but we're gonna keep rolling with that. We're gonna keep rolling with that. When you choose therapy over silence, you alter a family trajectory. Instead of, and remember, many of us grew up in a culture, in a family where trauma was subverted, where trauma was never talked about, where things that happened to children, the victimization that happened to our loved ones. Hey, Blue Diamond, good to see you up in here. There it is. Come on, Janae, you with it? You with it? Literally, literally. We have this matrix of keeping everything silent so we don't go to therapy. You can't go to therapy because to go to therapy, that means you had to talk. And you were forced to be quiet. They told you not to say anything. They didn't want to listen to your truth because your truth would illuminate the fact that Uncle so-and-so was bothering folks. That you had this family member that was doing things, but they kept it quiet. Some of us are beneficiaries of that mindset, that mentality. That we keep everything quiet. That what happens, oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one. Here's a good one. Anybody ever heard this one? What happens in this house stays in this house. Anybody ever heard that one? Anybody ever heard that one? If you heard that one, put yes in the chat. What happens in this house stays in this house. We don't talk about, so what are they doing? So your pain, not only was it you weren't allowed to talk about it, it was never even validated. So it exacerbates the trauma that many of us lived through. And so it's woven from generation to generation, woven into the DNA, that I've actually heard someone say that their father told them that therapy is for weak-minded people. What? Sir. Your son is in a nut house because of you. All right, you know what? Let me keep going. When you choose therapy over silence, you alter your family trajectory. When you choose boundaries over inherited guilt, you rewrite rational patterns. Breaking a pattern is not dishonoring your lineage. It's not. Breaking patterns, breaking old patterns, breaking generational foolishness, breaking those old constructs is not dishonoring your lineage. It is honoring it at its highest octave. It's honoring it. Because now you're the steward. You are becoming the elder. I am becoming the elder in the family. Yes, I once upon a time I was the jitterbug. Yes, I was the young and up and coming and the hopeful. Now I am becoming the elder. I am becoming the version of myself that can empower and impact the lives of others. I'm not trying to become anything other than right now who I am choosing to be right now in this moment. And so the same thing is happening with you. Destiny is fulfilled through conscious alignment. Destiny is filled through conscious alignment. You are here to refine what was handed to you. That's it. Emotional inheritance becomes emotional evolution when awareness meets intention. Your awareness to what it is that you got going on into your life, when you recognize where you inherited these things, these traits, these things, these maladies, you recognize them. And once you recognize those doggone things, and you have a clear understanding of where it came from and how it operates, and then you add an intention to it. As you add the intention to it to heal, the intention to become better, the intention to elucidate what it is, illuminate what has been going on in your life, and to heal from it, when you do that, everything changes. That is where the generational pain, where the break begins. When you begin to walk in your divine intended purpose, the break begins there. The healing happens. The joy begins to flow into your life. That is a part of this journey. That is a part of this process. That's why we're doing what we're doing right now. That's why we're doing what we're doing right now. You are not responsible. Let me just put this out there right now. You are not responsible for what was handed to you, but you are responsible for what you choose to hand forward. You're not responsible for what was given to you. You're not responsible for what you inherited, but you are responsible for what you hand forward. Right now, in this moment, what are you prepared to hand forward? Because in order to hand something beautiful over, you got to clear your plate. You have to clear your electromagnetic field of all the negativity. You have to clean your slate of all the doubt, the worry. You have to clear your slate of all of the internal dialogues that are not in alignment with the best and highest version of yourself. And the best way to teach someone, especially a child, especially a younger family member that is in the coming generation, is to do it by example, not by conversation. Because many of us were the beneficiary of this dumb behind doggone statements that do as I say, not as I do. What? Sir, what? What? Anybody ever heard that one? Do as I say, not as I do. That is like the dumbest thing. Is it not? Is it not the dumbest statement that you can make? Do as I say, not as I do. You and the devil are a liar. Too many of us had this anthem being played over and over and over in our lives to justify the foolery that the elders did. There's a better way of doing that. No one is saying that you have to be perfect. No. The universe doesn't require perfection. It just requires your presence. It requires your performance in that what you do has to be a beautiful example for the generations to come. Now, what are you handing? What you have to ask yourself, what do you have in your hands right now that you're handing over? What do you have in your hands that you're handing over? You're not responsible for what was handed to you, but you are responsible for what was handed forward. Your subconscious mind is not your enemy. It's not your enemy. It requires your participation. Thank you. Thank you, Janae. And we take love and faith all day long. What is in your hand? But make sure you have to heal and do the inner work at the same time, because you can inadvertently hand over the same trauma that was handed to you. You can hand over the same stuff. You can hand over the same trauma. You can hand over the same stuff over and over and over again. Emotional inheritance is not about blame. It is about awareness. Awareness creates choice. Choice creates identity. Identity creates destiny. Because the universe doesn't give us what we ask for. It gives to us based upon how we see ourselves. Destiny aligned with love, consciousness, and courage transforms inherited pain into generational power. I'm going to say that again. If you want to write anything down, write this down. Destiny aligned with love, consciousness, and courage. Courage transforms inherited pain into generational power. Today, we do not shame the past. We don't shame the past at all. We transcend it. We honor it. We honor our ancestors, not by repeating their wounds, but by completing their healing. Because you not only heal yourself because of the quantum entanglement. Remember I told you about your family and the quantum entanglement, how those particles, even though those particles may be a great distance between each other, there's an entanglement that is there. Quantum entanglement is very real. So your family represents an entanglement or an entangled unit. And so even though your ancestors may be generations away from you, you are still a part of that family unit. And the moment you heal yourself, because of quantum entanglement, you heal them too. So your healing just doesn't move forward. Your healing just doesn't move forward. Your healing moves back. Break every chain when I tell you. Does that resonate? Do you see the beauty in your choice today? Do you see the beauty in you choosing you? Do you see the beauty in you becoming the better version of yourself? Do you see the beauty in speaking your truth, telling your story, expressing your beauty, dispelling your doubt, releasing your fears, giving yourself all that you've always needed? You needed the best version of you, because the moment you heal yourself, when they say generational curse breakers, you not only heal yourself, but you heal the entire clan. People that may not even know your name. They will be the energetic and emotional beneficiaries of you stepping out on faith, doing the thing that you said you were going to do. It moves onward to those who are receptive. And in fact, watch this, Songbird. They don't even have to be receptive. Because of quantum entanglement, they don't have to be receptive. They are going to be the beneficiaries. Just like you weren't receptive, you didn't have to be receptive to be the beneficiary of the stuff that you inherited from your clan. Guess what? They don't have the luxury of choice either, because you are breaking the chains. You are doing the magic. You are doing the thing. And you're changing the destiny of not only yourself, but everybody to come and everybody that's been before, because of quantum entanglement. What do you do when your own children don't follow suit? It'll be okay. Dorothy, your children have their path. You just continue to live by example, love by example, lead by example. Be the change. Let them see the beauty in you. That's their path. That's their journey. They have the right and the ability to choose what they want to do. Whatever. See, they're not responsible for what's handed to them. They're responsible. They're responsible for what they hand off themselves. So in the context of today, it's okay. And in due time, in due season, in due time, in due season, they'll come around. You just continue to be loving. You continue to cultivate an environment. And see, that's the biggest thing. See, many of us, we want to change people with our hands. We want to go in and we want to tell them what they need to do. No, baby, just change the environment. And from an epigenetic standpoint, when you change the environment, you change how the gene expresses itself. You change the way people see themselves. So you change the way your children engage and respond because you've cultivated an environment that is conducive for growth, change, love, embracing that which is beautiful, accountability, all of those things. Those are the things. Listen, what y'all think about today? Did we do good today? Did we do good? Did I do what I'm supposed to do today? You know what, Dorothy? And watch this. Oh, I'm glad you said that. Thank y'all. She said this generation is different. Yes, they are. And in a beautiful way. You see, let me squash something real quick. We have, and I can say this because I'm a Gen X. I'm a Gen X. Many of us, and we have some baby boomers in here too. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the world that you and I were born in, the world that you and I were raised to live in. Thank you, Willis. Thank you. The world that we were born for no longer exists. I was asked this question out there. I was being interviewed last year for the Super Bowl. I spoke at a big event down there in New Orleans for the Super Bowl. And they asked me that question. How do we reach the youth? I say, y'all sure y'all want that answer? Because you may not like my answer. We Gen Xers and baby boomers can be arrogant. We can be very fixed and rigid in our way because that's how we were raised. There we go. I see you, Wallace. So the world that we were born into, that we were raised to win in, that world no longer exists. So what does that mean? That means that if we are going to be successful in this new generation, in this new world, and we're going to raise children in a new world with a new vernacular, with new technology and new challenges, the challenges that we faced as children pale in comparison to the challenges that this generation faces. Listen, if there was a personal account, if there was social media when we were children, if there was proof of the things that we were able to do and did so wonderfully, oh my goodness, we would be in trouble. And I thank God there was no social media back then, because there would be evidence from here to Jerusalem as to what we did. And Janae said it beautifully. Old keys don't open new doors. So here's the thing, Dorothy, I'm sorry. Here's the thing, Dorothy. Yes, this generation is built different. They have to be built different. And we have to honor that part. We have to honor how they show up. We have to honor them. And we also have to be kind and compassionate. Yeah, they may not listen. Yeah, they may not work as hard as we think they should work. But guess what? They'll be all right. Just love on them. Just keep loving on them. Just keep loving on them. Keep showing up for them. And go where they are. How I connect with my 16-year-old, shoot, man, I just go up in his room. I'm the cool dad because I sit there and I listen to him. I meet them where they are. That's right. Exactly. Thank you, Body Cam. This younger generation, they work different. They work very hard. It's just different how they work. But the beauty is, I'm telling you, just go where they are. Just go where they are. If you go where they are, I'll go in their rooms and I'll sit down and I'll watch the video games. I may not understand Fortnite. He's gonna hand me the joystick and he said, "Dad, well, play this right here. Try to come on." All right, kid. And so when I go when I meet them where they are, that creates this relationship that's intimate, not a do what I say do kind of thing. We can have conversations, and that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. So we're good. We're good. We are listen, thank y'all so much. So listen, we're gonna go ahead and release our YouTube family. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna release our YouTube family. And then we're gonna go ahead and kick our after party off with our TikTok family because we can't play all the good music that we play over here on YouTube. We love y'all, but we getting ready to pop it off. So thank y'all so much for being on. We're gonna release our YouTube family. When I got upset with my sons, my mom always say the apple didn't fall far from the tree. That will happen sometimes. That'll happen. So yes, it is party time over here on TikTok land. So listen, TikTok family, y'all stay right there. We're going to release our YouTube family. Thank y'all so much. We appreciate you for being in here with us today. Listen, we'll be back on Monday. Make sure that you're if you're in the Oasis, make sure you're part of the Monday morning meditation at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you're there. If you're not there, if you're not in the Oasis, we'll get you in there. All right? Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank y'all so much. Much love. Thank you, Willis. Thank you, Janae. Thank you so much, Rick Rob, for being up in here today. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are absolutely amazing. Much love. We're going to go ahead and kick this after party over here off in TikTok. All right, later.